Hey, good morning. Oh, I've had the busiest time, but I'm so happy. I'm off. I'm very excited. I've been planning, sitting this morning, and I'm like, oh, this week is very exciting. I'm going to Queenstown tomorrow, which I'm bloody excited about. One, because I love Queenstown. Like, what's not to love? If you haven't been to Queenstown, get your ass on a plane. I always describe Queenstown to people who haven't been there. I always say New Zealand is a bit like glass, like everything's beautiful and clear and crystal. But Queenstown is literally crystal. Queenstown. Why am I saying Queenstown today? I've only had one coffee. That's fine. Queenstown is a bit like a crystal glass. Everything is fucking divine in Queenstown. So if you haven't been, you should go. Anyway, I'm going there tomorrow, so I've been packing. This morning I got up and I thought, well, I need to get all my woolies out. Now, the other reason I'm really excited is I've got some very cool, very woolly things. I don't feel the cold. So the only place I can wear some really woolly things is somewhere as cold as Queenstown. And the gorgeous Invercargill, which I'm also going to. And I spoke to my friend Quinton, who I'm going to visit, and he told me it was -4. Are you joking? -4. So I've got woolly things. Stay tuned on the Instagram for some woolly winter fashion, because I've got all these fluffy things I cannot wait to wear. I'm very, very excited. So, packing, believe it or not, makes me really happy. I love packing. I love travelling. Except, I came home from Brisbane on Friday, and do you know, I had the stupidest, no I didn't, I came home on Saturday. I had the most bizarre trip. It was really interesting. And what's really funny is when I opened my planner this morning, there's a Jack Cranfield quote in the planner today that says, you only have control over 3 things in your life: the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, and the actions you take. So I quite like Jack Cranfield. He was a bit big back in the, 80s or something. The Success Principles, I think his book was called. But I love the idea of what do we have control over. And I had a really good example of this on Saturday. So every night before, I only work, because I have ADHD, I have 2 time zones. I have now and not now. So when I'm in a time zone, I work in half-day increments. So Friday afternoon, I had a gorgeous afternoon catching up with a whole bunch of really cool people. And so then Friday night, I'm like, right, what's happening tomorrow morning? Because I have to prepare for the next time zone, which is not now. And I look in my phone and I'm like, I have to be at the airport at 8:45. Beautiful. I organise an Uber. I'm all good. I pack my bag. I'm ready to go. I get up. I'm cleaning my teeth. I quickly just go, you know what? I'm just going to check my Air New Zealand app in case there's an update or something might have changed. I don't know. I look in there and it says I have to check in at 8:25. And I'm like, what the fuck? Air New Zealand have moved the gate posts on me. And then I'm like, oh God, maybe I read that wrong. Oh, that's quite normal for you, Lisa, not to understand the difference between 8:45 and 8:25. Anyway, blah, blah. So I then get to the airport and I'm like 8:26, because I remember I thought I had to be there at 8:45. So I fly in the door and the lady goes, oh, the flight's closed. I'm like, oh, seriously, come on, Annie. Come on, Annie. Her name was Annie. She was really nice. She said, it's all good, just a minute. I'll just get them to open the flight. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a fucking hour and a half before it goes. Anyway, she opens the flight on the little computer, gets me in, says, no problem, hands me my boarding pass. I'm seat 28D. I'm like, now I just a warning, because I'm a princess when I fly, and I fly a fucking lot. And when you don't fly very often, you can sit anywhere, it doesn't matter, right? When you fly all the time, where you sit and how much space you've got and all that is really, really important. And you have a whole different range of preferences. Anyway, I am like, I'd already pissed off because the night before I was in row 5. I was like, fuck 5. I like to be in 2. I don't like to be in 1, you see, because you can't have your handbag on the floor. You can't have your shit with you. So I like to be in row 2, and I like to be in an aisle. Anyway, I'm in a middle seat in a 5. And I thought, you stupid, why am I there? Anyway, blah, blah. So I get to the airport. She gives me 28. I'm like, what is wrong with the world? I thought 28. Anyway, and I was flying economy because there was no fancy seats. There was no premium. It was one of those little shitty planes and everyone just travels in fucking everyday sort of arrangements. And so then I get to my seat. I'm walking and walking and walking down the plane. I'm like, I'm literally the last seat on the plane. I am the last seat. I'm like, And then I had a little bit of an ego moment going, fuck it hell, do you not know who I am? Why am I at the back of the plane? And then I thought, Lisa, it's so bad. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm looking, come on, man, I'm tired and I want to be at the front. And why am I at the back? Because I need to walk in. I'm lazy. Anyway, lazy and a bit of a wanker is what I decided. I had to talk to myself. So I told myself off, said, Lisa, pull your fucking head in. You're on the plane. Just be grateful. You just want to go home. You're going home. It's all good. So I'm going home. It's all good. And then a woman walks past, one of the air hostesses, who knows me because she sees me all the time. She goes, why are you way down here? I went, I don't know. Because they know all the frequent flyers, you know, on the Air New Zealand. And because we're a small country, it's a small airline. And she goes, why are you down here? I'm like, you don't want to fuck if I know. Why am I down here? And then I said, hey, and the meals were starting to be served. Now, I always have a gluten-free meal because of my allergies, which I pre-book. She goes, I said, hey, you wouldn't be able to find out if I've got a gluten-free meal, would you? Because normally they bring them out before the food service, and I hadn't seen one. She comes over and goes, I've got no gluten-free meals on this flight. I'm like, am I on the wrong plane? She said, well, we're going to Christchurch. I'm like, oh, I thought I was going to Auckland. Anyway, long story short, my flight had been cancelled. Air New Zealand shifted me to a different plane, leaving earlier via Christchurch to get me to Palmerston North. So they actually did me a big favour, but I wasn't going mental. My original flight was leaving at 8, checking in at 8:45. The new one was 8:25, but I didn't notice that I'd moved flights, and they didn't actually communicate. They didn't tell me. So normally they tell me. So I've now had a letter of them saying, I'm so sorry because we didn't fucking tell you. I'm like, no, you didn't. Lucky I just went where the bloody wind blew me. But anyway, I had to have this meeting with myself, and I thought it was funny because when I opened my planner this morning and I saw the quote about control, and I had to have a little talk to myself because I was getting shitty. And then I thought, Lisa, why are you shitty? You're on the plane. You've got a seat. Just be grateful. Just be grateful, right? So I have to do that all the time with myself, have a little check-in with the thoughts I think, because I was like, well, I can sit here and be all pissy and play the whole New Zealand, Golden Leech, what the fuck, but then what a wanker, or I can just go, just be calm and grateful. So I had a conversation with myself, got calm and grateful, made friends with the lady next to me, had a nice flight, flew home, got home on time. Thanks in New Zealand because they shifted me. Not great, they didn't communicate, but anyway, the end result was fucking marvellous. So hopefully, so this is the thing, when I get stressed, because when you travel all the time, there's so much out of your control. Flights get cancelled, all kinds of things happen, right? And you've kind of got to get, and what I usually like to do if I get very stressed is I draw 2 circles on a piece of paper. And in one of them, I write down what can I control. And in the other one, I write what can't I control. Now, I couldn't control my seat number. I couldn't control what was going on the plane. I couldn't even control that I didn't have a meal. So I thought, well, lucky for me, I had a secret peanut slab in the handbag. Quite like a peanut slab. Bought myself a cheeky peanut slab on the way over. Luckily for me, God left it in my handbag. So I just sat and had a coffee and a peanut slab. And I thought, you know, you're not really at risk of fading away, Lisa. I think you'll get through. And guess what? I arrived alive and well. And it was fine, and everything was fine. And generally, everything is fine, isn't it? But I really like the idea of controlling the thoughts you think and what you visualize. Like, I thought, well, I'm just going to visualize everything going really well from here on in. And then from that moment, I flew through customs. Oh, I was like a bloody hot knife through butter. Just flew through there. Everything was lovely. So everything was actually fine. Isn't that funny? So hopefully this week of travel, everything is just as fine. I've booked one of the big planes into Queenstown because when it snows and there's a cold snap, they don't always land if you're on the wee plane. So you've got to think about these things when you're travelling all the time. And I've got people waiting. I'm so excited to be going to Queenstown and Invercargill this week. There you go. So have a think about that. What can you control? Your thoughts, the images you visualise, and the actions you take. See, I could have been a bitch, but I wasn't. I really wanted to. I did want to. Oh, but I pulled myself back in, reined in my thoughts. You know, you've got to do that. I'm going to do that this week. I've got a lovely week, and I'm looking forward to a lovely week. I'm going to a gemstone beach. There's a gemstone beach at the bottom of the South Island, and I'm going there with my friend Quinton. And apparently, real gemstones are on the beach, so stay tuned. I'll let you know how I get on. I'm so excited. It's going to be fucking freezing, but I'm packing my gloves, and I'm off to the gemstone beach. So that's just going to be heaven. Heaven. I hope you have a heavenly week. I'll talk to you on Friday. Bye.